Good morning, respected principal sir, and my dear students. It is with great pleasure and honor that we welcome Shri Gurinder Singh Boparai, Assistant Professor, Libby Sports, Methodist College of Education, Batala. On behalf of the Angels College of Education, Mahmood Pathankot, I, Professor Suman, extend warm and heartfelt welcome to you, sir. We deeply appreciate your time and efforts for being here today to evaluate and assess our students' work. Sir, your vast experience and valuable insights will contribute significantly to maintaining academic excellence and upholding the highest standards of learning. Once again, thank you, sir, for your presence, and we hope that you will have a pleasant and enriching experience with us. Sir, the students have put in tremendous efforts and countless hours of practice to prepare for today. So please, sir, explore their work and give them feedback. Your feedback and guidance are instrumental for their academic and professional success. So students, put the best foot forward, embrace this opportunity to learn and make the most of this session. So without further ado, I would like to invite the students of first semester on the stage for PowerPoint presentation.
A very good morning to one and all present here. It's my pleasure to introduce myself to you. My name is Janvi Sharma, and today we are here to discuss about the topic learning without burden. In this presentation, we will be exploring salient features and objectives, then we have Ishpal committee with its 5 parts, and then at last but not the least, I am going to share with you the educational implications of learning without burden. So without further ado, let's begin. So, education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire, as said by William Yeats. This quote emphasizes learning as an inspiring and self-driven process rather than a heavy obligation, as beautifully portrayed by this picture. This picture speaks to the idea that learning should be a constructivist and holistic experience for the learners rather than a stressful and burdened one. So first, let's understand what is the concept behind learning without burden. Learning without burden is an educational philosophy that seeks to create a holistic, engaging and stress-free learning environment where students can grow academically, emotionally and socially without the traditional pressures of rote memorization and rigid curriculums. It focuses on advocating a shift from the conventional exam-centric education system to the one that fosters creativity and critical thinking skills of the learners. Then we have salient features of learning without burden. First one is student-centered learning that focuses on the needs and interests of the learners and keeping up with the learning pace of every learner. Second one is playful and interactive methods that incorporates playful activities like games, discussions, debates, hands-on activities into the curriculum to make learning a fun activity for all the learners. Then we have stress-free environment that reduces the exam pressure and the focus on rote memorization. Fourth one is holistic development that promotes not just academic knowledge but also social, emotional, physical, cognitive, intellectual, all spheres of development. Then we have aims and objectives of learning without burden. First one is promotion of intrinsic motivation. So firstly, there are two kinds of motivation. First one is intrinsic motivation and another one is extrinsic motivation. The intrinsic motivation encourages the students to enjoy learning and cultivate a natural curiosity rather than some external pressures or rewards. Second one is reduction of stress and anxiety to alleviate the burdens of rigid curriculums, exam-centric education system, creating an environment that is conducive to mental health and well-being. Third one is fostering creativity and critical thinking to encourage the students so that they are able to think independently and solve their problems with high level of creativity. Then
Good morning everyone, my name is Ashwita Thakur and today I am going to present the PPT on learning to be. So here are the topics I am going to discuss today. Introduction, connection to Paul Fay's theory, why learning to be is important, 4 pillars, learning by UNESCO, role of education, challenges, overcoming the challenges, opportunities, learning outcomes, learning to be need of the hour, and conclusion. First, introduction. Learning to be emphasis on the holistic development of a person. It goes beyond traditional education to include emotional, social, and spiritual growth of a person, and hence provide a well-rounded and empathetic, responsible citizen. Now, connection to Paul Fay's theory. Paul once said that education does not change the world. Education changes the people, and people change the world. So, this philosophy also emphasizes on the learning to be, on the importance of holistic development. Now, question arises: why learning to be is important? First, holistic development. It provides overall and complete development of a person. Lifelong learning, as it starts since birth till death of a person. Critical thinking, problem solving, social and emotional intelligence, ethical and moral development, and hence overall empowerment of a person. Here are the 4 pillars of learning to be given by UNESCO. First, learning to know. That includes cognitive development, critical thinking, and problem solving. Learning to do. It covers practical skills, technical competences, creativity, and innovation. Learning to live together. From name, it is very clear that it's going to focus on emotional skills, intercultural understanding, empathy, and compassion. And last, learning to be, which focuses on self-awareness, spiritual growth, and ethical values. Now, role of learning to be on education. First, it behaves as a facilitator of learning, as it provides and creates learning environment. It also becomes a model of learning as it demonstrates lifelong learning.
I hope everybody is doing good. This is Darpan Diman and I am going to showcase you my presentation on the topic Human Development. Key insights from 2014 and 15 Annual Economic Survey. First slide discusses about Introduction to Human Development. The word human development is focusing on improving people, well-being, education, literacy rate, health status of the country, plus life expectancy rates that help us to know and ensure various growth-related areas and improvements. The next slide delineates us about understanding of human development. We all know that human development is a multidimensional. Not only multidimensional, it comes under multidisciplinary as well as a comprehensive term. It ensures social equity plus social equality to the citizens of the country. Now we will be discussing about what is HDI. HDI was the statistics that was prepared, compiled and developed by United Nations in 1940s in New York City that develops as the social and economic development of various countries. Now we will be delineating us the key indicators of development. Human development is a kind of development that measures the improvements in human life according to various social and economic upliftments. The key indicators are Human Development Index, life expectancy, infant mortality rate, per capita GDP, etc. Now we'll be discussing about components of Human Development Index. Here we can see that there are 3 dimensions covering 2 particular things, that is called indicators. First is health, that includes life expectancy, that is 67.7. Then we have education, that includes expected years of schooling, that is 11. Next we have mean years of schooling, that is 6. In living standards, we include gross capita income, that is incorporated since 2013 and that incorporates $2480, that was according to the census 2021. Next we have objectives of human development. Lifelong and healthy life, access to education, sustainability, human rights and gender equality.
Good morning everyone. Today I, Ishika, am going to represent my presentation on the topic Pedagogy of English. So the chapters that I've covered in Pedagogy of English are as follows. The fun they had, the sound of music, the little girl, a truly beautiful mind, the snake in the mirror, my childhood, packing, reach for the top, the bond of love and cartoon. So the first chapter is the fun they had. This chapter throws the light on an important aspect of technological world. It explains the technological differences from the olden time to the modern time. It also talks about that how it was much more fun in the olden times than the modern times as technology has taken over. So next chapter is the sound of music. This chapter talks about the 2 musical minstrels, that is Avrin Glennie, a great Scottish percussionist, and Bismillah Khan, Indian Shehnai player. This story talks about 2 musical legends. So the next chapter is The Little Girl. The main theme of this chapter is the relationship between parents and the children. Young children do not feel their parents' loving care. Instead, they find them unfair and strict. But when they grow up, they eventually understand their parents' actions and find them favorable. So the next chapter is A Truly Beautiful Mind. This chapter is about a great scientist, Albert Einstein. It focuses on his interests, passions, and his ordinary human attributes. Next chapter is The Snake in the Mirror. The story is about the snake in the mirror. It explains that how a doctor who was indulged in his deep thinking had a sudden encounter with the snake. He got startled and the snake got interested in his image in the mirror nearby, and consequently the doctor was saved.
Good morning everyone, my name is Shubham and the topic for my presentation is on pedagogy of science. As whenever we hear the word science, what first thing strikes in our mind is that advancement, technology, infrastructure. So science is a Latin word which describes knowledge. So science is basically a system of knowledge which comprises of physical, chemical and biological universe in it. Today I am going to cover some basic topics of science such as matter in our surrounding, is matter around us pure, atoms and molecules, structure of atom, fundamental unit of life, tissue, motion, force and laws of motion, work and energy, sound, and at last correlation with health, gender and environment. So our first topic is matter in our surrounding. So what is matter? Matter is something which occupies some space. So generally there are three types of matter: solid, liquid and gas. In solid, the particles are tightly packed with each other. In liquid, the particles are less tightly packed with each other, and in gaseous state, they are far apart from each other. Now the types of matter. There are two types of matter: pure substances and impure substances. Pure substances are the substances which have only one type of element, and the impure substances, or you can say mixtures, they contain the mixtures of two or more elements. Further, impure substances are classified into two types. One is homogeneous mixture and another is heterogeneous mixture. In homogeneous mixture, they are the mixtures which have uniform composition, and in heterogeneous mixture, they have non-uniform composition. Now talking about atoms and molecules. So atoms are the smallest particle of an element which takes part in a chemical reaction. If I talk about molecule, it is the smallest particle of an element or a compound which can exist independently. Now the question arises that what is the structure of atom? To give the structure of atom, there were two theories. One is Rutherford theory and another one is J.J. Thomson model of atom. In J.J. Thomson model of atom, what J.J. Thomson did was, he considered the whole atom as a watermelon and the watermelon seed as the electrons. But in Rutherford model of atom, he described the orbits in which the electron revolves around the nucleus. Thank you and have a
chapter with gender, environment and health. I have correlated the chapter matter in our surrounding with environment, because everything around us is matter. The air we take, the water we drink, the soil we walk, the plants and animals we are interacted with are all linked to environment. To study the properties of matter, we have to study the types of matter, that is solid, liquid and gas, their properties and how they interact. Solids which have very high intermolecular forces of attraction, liquid which has less intermolecular forces of attraction, and gases which has rare or very slow intermolecular forces of attraction. Further moving on to the correlation with gender, I have correlated the chapter the fundamental unit of life with gender because of the foundation of the cells. Cells are the living basic building blocks of all living organisms, and it can be correlated to gender from the following context, that is cellular differences and reproductive cells. Last but not least, I have correlated the chapter tissue with health, because maintaining healthy tissues is essential for well-being. Healthy tissues promotes our body functioning to run very smoothly, and it can be related to health on the following aspects, that is wellness side, stress management, hydration and regular exercise. Thank you.
Good morning everyone. I am Somesh Sharma. Today I like to present my PPT on physical education. As you can see, the content of physical education, I have taken the book of class 9, Health and Physical Education. And the content goes from health and disease, growing up confident, physical education till waste management. Let's move on to next slide. Now, introduction to health and physical education. As you can see, health and physical education are interconnected. It separate both ways. Physical education not only the development of physical development, it also promote intellectual, cognitive, and emotional. Now, the first chapter is health and diseases. Health and diseases are interconnected subject. In this chapter, we see two diseases: communicable diseases and non-communicable diseases. As you can know, communicable diseases. If we take an example of communicable diseases, COVID-19 is a communicable disease. It spread easily by touching in air. And if I take an example of non-communicable disease, diabetes, it mainly affect the way of your lifestyle. If your eating is not good or properly, you have to face a non-communicable disease like diabetes, cancer. Let's move on to next slide. Now, growing up with confidence in adolescence age or age of puberty of a human development goes, and physical education help in building confidence. As you can see, male and female development of can be different. Let's move on to next slide. Physical education. Physical education is some physical activities which performed by an individual. If you have to know the aims and objective of physical education, not only prior physical development, it's also prior mental development, social development, emotional development, and spiritual development.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.